Yeah, Boxing Bros UK. Tune in, watch the channel, and enjoy. And enjoy this. Thank you.
Yes, people, welcome back to the Proper Podcast. And today I'm not joined by the chaps. I've sacked them off today. I'm sick of them. Can't be listening to them anymore. They're driving me nuts. So today I've got in the Boxing Bros. Oh, yes, I met them at the Beterbiev presser, wasn't it? Back in September last year. I know, February, wasn't it? And, they come up to me and... we had a good old chinwag and it was good fun and they were really good energy. And I said, you got to come on the pod one day and we got to do some bits and pieces. And here we are. So, yes, boys, we've got Andrew, we've got Chris. Andrew, how are you, bruv?
Yeah, good, mate. Good, mate. Really looking forward to this week. We've got the presser and the weigh-in. We never get fight night. I think that's basically them giving away a free ticket. So we're not quite there yet with that. But I'd rather watch it at home with a beer anyway on my settee. Do you know, I'm fine with that, but hopefully we'll get some good interviews, get our name out there. We got some new T-shirts as well, so we're trying to sort of brand ourselves better and just get out there, really.
Love it. Christopher, how are you, mate?
Yeah, really, really good. Happy to be here with the legend, Propaboxing. Been a big fan for years, so it was great meeting you at the Beterbiev Bivol presser, and and I'm looking forward to the fight. I can't wait.
Oh, you're too kind. You're too kind. Yes, coming in, we want to talk about the fight. I want to get your opinions on it. I know you two have got some stern opinions because when I check in on your channels, you're giving it the big one, and I love to see it. That's what I love, a bit of controversy, a little bit of, meat on the bone, as they say. So it's quality to see. So come on, starting with yourself, Andrew. What are your feelings on this week and Dubois?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, no, we try and be authentic and genuine and just say it as we see it, you know. So, and that's how we're going to be moving forward. And hopefully with the interviews as well, you'll see us doing that, not shying away. Yeah. Hopefully we won't get a big right hand from one of the heavyweights though, eh? But, you know.
Yeah.
But no, listen, what's he been 2 years with Don Charles now? Look, like the narrative isn't it, that Dubois, obviously he's got a rejuvenated mentality. He's in great form. You know, you can kind of pick apart those opponents, but he's in great form. You know, I keep hearing a lot of stuff. Is Usyk going to be a bit like a Djokovic as he got old overnight? And I saw one of your videos, I think you put it out recently, about maybe we'll see the best version of Usyk. Maybe the best version of him still to come. I don't know. Listen, I think that there was something Don Charles alluded to on TalkSport, and he kind of let slip. And I know he was giving that in the corner advice in the first fight about after that first phase, stepping on the gas. Because when he had Usyk in that first fight, when he did have him ready to go again in the second phase, he was kind of letting Usyk get away again, rather than sticking a right hook in and trying to keep him there, letting him get away. But it's easier said than done, isn't it, boys? Because he's got to do that, and he's got to bank on this rejuvenated gas tank, because his gas tank seems to have improved as well. I don't know if that's a mentality thing, but for a big man, his stamina looks good. But he's going to have to potentially do that for 12 rounds. And he's got the power advantage, but that's about it. Usyk just is better than him at everything else. And I sort of made an analogy, always come out with random analogies. It's a bit like a powerful Ferrari or Lamborghini. It can have all the power in the world, but if you get the tyres taken away, what good is it?
Yeah.
And I think Usyk, he sort of takes your tyres away. Yeah. I heard sort of Bellew saying that he just drains you mentally and physically. Like, you're watching what he's doing, watching his feet, watching his feints, his angle. And I think he just demoralises you. But he reminds me a bit of Lomachenko in that respect. It must be a Ukrainian thing. Anyway, I'm talking on and on and on.
No, can you keep going, man? That's what we're here for.
It would be fantastic on our shores. What would be it first since undisputed British heavyweight, since Lennox Lewis. But I'm desperate for him to do it. I just don't think, if I'm being honest, you know, has he tactically improved in the last 2 years? Everyone's saying how much better but is he tactically improved? I don't think he's going to have tactically improved too much. So I think it's going to be an Usyk points win for me.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at.
I'll come back to that. I want to come back to that tactical thing in a minute, as he tactically improved. But yeah, Chris, what are you saying, mate?
Well, I was going to go on to that point. So I made a few notes. So basically, everyone who's saying like Dubois, he's improved, he's so much better, this time he can do it. For me, he hasn't improved, really. The only thing that's improved is his mental strength, like his mentality and his belief in himself. But overall, like if you look at like the Miller fight, Miller don't hit hard and he stands there. So really, he won that fight. He didn't quit, but it's like it wasn't. He didn't show any improvements. It just showed that when someone keeps coming, he's not going to jack if you don't knock him out. Then same with the Hrgovic, kept getting hit with right hand over right hand, and that's the other thing about Dubois, that he's not improved. I don't know what it is because I've been watching his fights. He has his elbows out here like he's doing like a chicken dance. Like he don't tuck up properly, and he uses his feet as defense to jump in and jump out. And when he was fighting Hrgovic, that was the same. His defense is leaky, and that's why he kept getting hit and hit. But he's got a good chin, because if you think about it, he's never been knocked down from a punch. He's always took a knee and then quit. He hasn't, so he can take a shot. So and against Hrgovic anyway, he was taking all these right hands because he was jumping in and out. And against Usyk's not like Hrgovic. He's not going to get tired, and he's going to keep hitting him when he's coming in and when he's coming out. And I just think that Dubois has not got better technically or tactically or anything. He doesn't quit anymore. That's the only thing that's improved. He's not a quitter no more, and that's it. So I don't know. I just can't see any other way of him winning.
I get you. Yeah, I'm a little bit I can't say he's not a better fighter now, and that's due to his mentality now. He's coming in with this new mentality that he's all guns blazing. Don Charles has installed something into him, even though he never gives Don any credit for that. But Don Charles has definitely installed some element of just graft in him and dedication to not give up to the very end now, and it looks like he's a lot better at that, and that's wonderful. But yeah, on a technical basis, I don't really see a lot different to the Dubois that fought Usyk the first time. I just see a Dubois that come through the adversity in the Miller and Hrgovic fight, and then just blasted AJ in round one. And look, I'll probably get stick for saying this, and I'm not an AJ fanboy or nothing, but I can't help but say it. Like, you can't say that AJ throughout his career is not a better fighter than Dubois, right? On the night, he come completely unstuck because that first shot that Dubois landed, AJ was going backwards. His hands were down. He was in fucking space. He was in Narnia, right? I don't know what he was doing. He turned up to the venue late. Everything, I'm not making excuses for him. I'm just saying everything was very unusual that night with AJ, and his leaky defence allowed him to get clipped straight away, and that was it.
It's been happening for a while, though, Sonny, isn't it? If you don't mind me coming back on that. I mean, I've noticed this trend with Ben Davis. Look, Ben Davidson's a great trainer, right? You know, I'm not, taking anything away. But I've noticed with his heavyweights, with Fabio, with Alois Jr., I think Alois Jr., one of the first people we interviewed, he's a proper little character. But, big, strong, stiff heavyweights, right? Stiff cruiserweights. Right, ain't a criticism, just an observation. They're heavily muscular. Fabio Wardley not so much, but he's got that big right hand equaliser. Dips at the hip and just throws a right hand over. But they've all got their guard down here on their chest. I don't know if it's the Ben Davis. Now the thing is, right now Chris is 6 foot, about 1,900 stone of muscle. Right, I'm 6 foot 17.5 stone. Done a bit of sparring. Right, I ain't a mover. Right, if I'm fighting, I'm getting there. I'm just going to try and use my size. Why is AJ and Fabio Wood? Why are they trying to move about like they're the second coming of Lomachenko and Sugar Ray Leonard? Like, what's all that about? Like, just chin down, lock up, come in, walk him down. You just keep it simple, surely. So anyway, I get a bit impassioned about that because mentally and tactically, AJ seems to have fallen off a cliff since Ruiz. He don't know what he is. He don't know what he wants to do. He's second guess. It's a nightmare.
He has been a bit lost. Yeah. Do you think the same about Ben Davison, Chris? Because you're right there. If you think about Lee Wood throughout his career has always taken a lot of punishment, but still to this day, even in the Kakachi fight, he's still taken a lot of punishment. And you're right that Ben Davison probably hasn't installed enough defence in him there. AJ's defence was terrible against Dubois. So, yeah, is there a bit of a Ben Davison problem there? I know we're going off topic from Usyk Dubois, but still.
Yeah. Well, just a quick thing. I think with Ben Davison, it's like he does a lot of sports sciencey video analysis stuff. So he'll watch tapes of fighters and like they'll have tells of when they're going to do this, and then he uses that to get a lucky punch and knock them out with his heavy hitting fighters. But if you don't find that knockout punch or you get clipped beforehand, your game plan's fucked, basically. And I think that's what's happening. Like, and I do think like Ben Davison is only suited to train certain type of fighters with good reflexes and good feet who are good movers. And he's applying his training style to every single boxer, and they're not really suited to it. Do you know what I mean?
So back to Usyk Dubois then. How much chance did you give him in the first fight, and how much chance do you give him now?
A puncher's chance. That's all I give Dubois.
Oh, really?
Is a puncher's chance. And Usyk's got a good punch. Even because the ways that Dubois can win, like, because I watched the Derek Chisora fight back. Yeah.
The blueprint.
Yeah, but it's not a blueprint, really, because he didn't win. He didn't win, and he had some success, but it's just Usyk's he's too good.
That's as close as anyone's got to beating Usyk, though, isn't it? That's to be like some success to go off.
Because I know everyone thought it was. I watched it again. It weren't really close because a lot of Chisora's punches were on the shoulders, on the arms, on the elbows, and I think that's the only way that Dubois can win. Like when Usyk's there, he's got to hit what he can see. Hit a shoulder, hit him on the hips, hit him low, forearms in the throat. He's got to do everything. Because the only weakness Usyk's got, he's got one weakness. He is a crybaby. If anyone hits him low, does anything like a little bit illegal, he's always looking at the ref like, ref. So, there was
that's because everyone tries to hit him low, though, isn't it? Everyone goes for his goolies because they know that's his fucking weak point.
But that's his only weakness. Like, he is a bit of a crybaby. Like, if he feels like he's been getting roughhoused. So, and where it's in his home turf, so he'll be able to get away with it more. Not like in Poland, because I don't think that was a low blow. But on the other hand, I do think if Usyk started getting counted, I'm telling you now, he would have got up and got his way through the round and still stopped Dubois. But I just think he milked it because
genius. He's a genius.
Yeah, he milked it because he was allowed to because it was considered a low blow. So he milked it. But if it wasn't, he still would have won. So I just think it's in England now, so that's not going to happen. So Dubois, hit him low as many times as you can get away with, elbow him, head, Holyfield, lead him with your head. But even if he does all that, he's still going to get beat to me because he's still not going to be good enough. Usyk's still going to be too slick, too fast.
Yeah, that Derek Chisora thing, I think we all was a bit blinded there. We've all seen that and we've all gone, that's the way to beat Usyk and that. But ultimately, Derek didn't beat Usyk, did he? Do you know what I mean? He still lost conclusively. He may have won maybe one or two more rounds than everyone else. Well, that's debatable as well because Fury won quite a few in the first fight. But we think that's the blueprint. But he lost at the end of the day, and no heavyweight can sort of do what Derek Chisora was doing for the majority of that fight. No heavyweight can do it for the whole of the fight. You know what I mean? Usyk's pressure, he's just going to be on you all the time. So unless you've got a better gas tank than him, you're not going to beat him. I actually think the actual blueprint to beat Usyk was what Fury was doing in the mid stages of the first fight when he was landing them beautiful uppercuts. His accuracy in that first fight and everything was phenomenal, Fury, in their mid stages. But again, he couldn't keep it up because Usyk, the Duracell bunny, was on him all night. So
it's a shame. Do you know, actually, I just thought, do you know who would give Usyk a good fight? You know Hooney? Because I think he's got the good, and Usyk's going to hit hard, and he's got the skills. He's got the gas tank to keep up the pace, like to keep the relentless pace up with Usyk to maybe outpoint him. Come back phase 2, phase 3.
Mate,
he's the only one.
If anyone could sort out Hooney's chin, he's going to be a fucking problem.
Yeah.
Big time.
He's probably not going to knock Hooney out, so he could win that fight.
Do you know the other thing I just wanted to throw back at you boys? A lot of people say, but the one thing Usyk has is no power. I tell you what, after fighting AJ twice, Fury twice, and Dubois once, and obviously now second time, he must have some little bit of snap and pop because he gets their respect. Right, I don't want to. I hear this in YouTube comments all the time. Right, people regurgitate the same what they've heard from their favourite YouTuber. Oh yeah, but he got no power. He's boring. Well, he must have something. He must have a little bit, because Ian off getting these heavyweights respect, and he's able to keep them off him long. And I've like Dubois in that first fight. All right, mentally he's going to be a different beast. After that first phase, like a 1-2 coming in, he was backing off again and just letting Usyk do what he wants. So that, all right, maybe we won't see this in the second. Maybe he'll then engage when he's got him there and let his hands go. But I've got a feeling we might see the same again. So,
do you know what I think it is? I think it's not, because I don't think he's got power. I think they're thinking that, he keeps hitting me, I'm losing the round. So, and while they're thinking what to do, like, shall I step around? Shall I do this? He's hit him in the face 3 times while they're thinking. And then they think, I can't rush in because he's going to hit me more. I'm going to lose. So I think because he's constantly getting them thinking, they're standing there thinking, moving. And while they're moving, they're getting hit. And another thing that Usyk does that I really love, he leaves his hand out there pouring. Sometimes he hits them with it. So he's not getting full extension, but he just gives him a little stab in the face and then steps off. And he just does all these little things like you can't.
It must be a nightmare, that hand in front of you all night, that right hand in front of you. Oh, mate, it's like, leave me alone. And yeah, I think you're bang on, Andrew. I mean, ultimately, he put Fury down. That takes some doing, doesn't it? So he must have some power there. When he caught him with that shot, that first shot that sent him sort of doing the DVD around the ring, that was a fucking powerful shot, man. That was, and he caught AJ with the same shot, didn't he, in the first
timing as well, Sonny.
So
it's his mastery in there. I think there's just something about him, isn't it? He's just the IQ, really. It's just he knows when to throw, and the jab, and and it's the obviously, what do they say? The right hand takes you around the block, the jab takes you around the world, and he's just hitting you at different angles, stepping around from different angles, keep popping, like Chris said, popping it in your face. He's jabbed you 3 times before you've hit him once, and it must be a nightmare to fight. And
let's not forget, he's knocked Tony Bellew clean out. That was a clean KO. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, power wise, he's fine.
I just think that he's just on. He just can't be beat. He's just too good. He's too good. But Can you see any way that Dubois is winning, Sonny?
Yeah, I know I can. Like you say, I made the judgment that, maybe I don't think he has potentially aged overnight. I don't really know. I don't know his body. Do you know what I mean? I'm just looking at him and I'm seeing what he did in the Fury Usyk second fight, and I'm looking at him and going, I know you're smart as fuck that you're not going to take this fight if your body couldn't do what you wanted it to do. But Tony Bellew has notoriously said, and a lot of fighters have said it, the fighter is the last one to know. So when they do get in the ring, it's only when they get in the ring that they realise that they've lost a little bit of what they used to have. So come fight night, if he gets in there and he's just slowed down a little bit and Dubois wobbles him, I think Dubois could potentially smother him and get a TKO. But I'm assuming that's not going to be happening because, as I say, I can't see past Usyk not being at his best. But yeah, no, there's definitely a case. Dubois is probably the second, if not the first, heaviest hitter in the heavyweight division. So there's always a puncher's chance, yeah.
What about you, Andrew? Can you see it anyway?
I think it's. I remember Richie Woodall saying that when he had AJ, and here's a little bit of insight. A lot of people might have seen this anyway, but he said that when he had them both on the pads, Dubois' jab was like every other heavyweight's right hand, which, I mean, that's quite a statement, isn't it? I mean, your jab's your rangefinder. It's there to kind of win your points. You very rarely knock anyone out, although Yard come a cropper, didn't he, against Kovalev with a jab. And
he was knackered, though. That's why he just...
Yeah, but I think... And then he said AJ's straight right hand was the hardest he's ever had on the pad. So that gives you an idea of how... But this is the thing, I'll go back to my analogy with the Ferrari. Yeah, power's obviously very important at heavyweight, but the problem is it's a bit like trump cards or whatever analogy you want to use. Usyk trumps Dubois in every other level. You think, all right, people go, oh yeah, but is his gas tank still there at 38, 39? But he's an unbelievable athlete and he stays fit all year round. His foot speed and footwork's better, although Daniel Dubois isn't terrible. He's quicker. His IQ's better. And he nicks rounds in the last 30 seconds. That's the thing. Is that he'll just raise his game in the last 20, 30 seconds because it's recency bias for the judges. We all know it goes on. Think, oh, God, so it's just everything. Usyk does everything better other than power. So it's kind of like, I just think that second phase is going to be really important. And Don Charles has already admitted that. Yeah. And then I think he's just got to storm the beaches of Normandy is what I keep saying. Just get off that boat. Don't piss yourself on the boat. Just get out there. And if you get clipped by a rifle, so fucking be it. He's just got to go for it. We're all saying it, but he ain't going to outbox him, boys, is he?
I think that like Usyk's going to come and Dubois is going to be like overconfident because of his wins and that, but he hasn't actually got any technically better. And Usyk's just going to go out there and destroy him and make a big statement like, I am the daddy. I'll just beat him better than I beat him last time. Because why would he, at this age, come over here for less money to fight Dubois unless he's absolutely confident that he's going to be able to do a job on him easily? Yeah, I think he's been watching Dubois fights and thinking, you ain't shit, you ain't got better than last time, I'm going to do you in. And I think Usyk took Dubois a bit lightly last time. I think he was just going through the motions because he wanted Fury or AJ, and he got Dubois instead.
That's another thing. If you watch the first fight, Usyk Dubois, and then you watch him against AJ twice, and then you watch him against Fury twice, it's almost a bad performance for Usyk. That was. He won every round, right? But he just wasn't as elusive as it just was a slightly lesser version that night. Don't know why.
Posting. Don't
know if it was. No, yeah. Maybe he took him lightly. Maybe he had a little bit of something happen through camp. I don't know. But he wasn't as formidable as he was against AJ and Fury. So, yeah, if he turns up with that formidableness that he had against AJ and Fury, yeah, you'd have to think that Usyk, that Dubois is a bit
or
fucked.
like Dubois could capitulate because he could be overhyped, overconfident, take risks that he thinks going to work because he's proper believing in himself, and Usyk can like make him quit because he's just going to ping him, counter him, and he's not going to let him hit him. And then Dubois can go from there right down to there, like, oh shit, I'm not that much better, and I'm really, really getting my arse handed to me, and it's in my hometown, and he could just go down that old road and we could see him taking a knee and quitting.
I've got a question, actually, because I asked this to everyone, so I'd quite like to get Sonny's take on it. We done a chat with Gunman Boxing, who we love, proper character Gunman. And
he's good in, yeah,
shout
really
out to
good.
Gunman, his interview style is fucking hilarious. And I've been saying this, and we done a podcast on Last Bell Boxing, and I got shot to bits on that, and I thought, nah, sod it, I'm holding my ground. There were guys in their boxing trainers, like guys who know the business. Usyk wouldn't even make my top 50 cruiserweights of all time. I was thinking, you're off your head, you lot. Because I put him in we were doing a heavyweight debate of all time, and I thought, this is going to kick off. And Chris will tell you, I've put Usyk I think it was after the first Fury performance, but I put him in my top 3 of all time, and I get shot down all the time. Terrible hero. What does this guy have to do? Right, he can't help the hero. He's done everything, and he cruiserweight Olympic champion twice. What he's beaten everyone in his guy that he's given up size and height and reach and everything. What does he have to do to be in that conversation for a lot of people? Like, what is it? And I'd like to get your take, Sonny, because it infuriates me.
Yeah, not that my opinion matters, but I mean, for me, I can't see him not being in that realm. Like, he's got to be up there in the 1, 2, 3 for me, because just if he beats Dubois on Saturday, to beat AJ, to beat Fury, to beat Dubois, they're three of the most prominent figures in this generation, and 3 of the most prominent boxers, right? And some AJ haters will say, you can't put AJ in there. AJ was unified world heavyweight champion, man. You can't say he's not like a real great fighter of this generation. So for Usyk to do that, and on top of that, you add in the cruiserweight accolades as well. he's just one of the all-time greats if he wins this Saturday, yeah. I mean, for me, he already is. But, yeah, if he wins this Saturday, there's no debate.
Yeah.
There's no debate.
Can't be, yeah. Strong opinion. I like it.
It's some people that it's just that mentality like, oh, things were always better in my day. They can't admit it to themselves because for me, like everyone says, Holyfield's the best cruiserweight of all time. I think that Alexander Usyk is the best cruiserweight of all time right now because he fought everyone in the top of his division one after another to get undisputed in their backyards, not in his own town. So you
always an away fighter.
Yeah, so
most of the time.
He's best cruiserweight of all time right now. Better than Holyfield was, better than David Haye, better than any of them. Yeah, and then now as a heavyweight, everyone in his era, apart from Deontay Wilder, he's beat him twice. And like you said, Sonny, how can you? AJ he weren't in his prime, but he was the man. He was the best. He was the best boxer in the world at that time because he'd beaten everyone. He'd avenged all his losses, and he had all the belts. And you can't say he was shit because I think who did he beat? He beat Pulev, who's ranked quite highly. And Pulev's still got a world title belt right now, to be honest. I know it's Mickey Mouse, like the regular or whatever, but they can't rubbish any of his wins. He's beat everyone in his era, the best ones, twice. What more can you do? Especially when people are only fighting once a year these days, not like back in the day.
He's a breath of fresh air, isn't he? And do you think it's because he's not this knockout artist, and maybe I think he's got a cracking personality, but he's not this kind of Jarrell Miller, Wilder. I want a body on my record. He's like a humble guy, quirky, talking about pints of Guinness. And do you think it's because he's not this kind of American, bit of a controversial opinion? But I wonder whether it's because he's this Eastern European, quirky, weird fella who's really good at what he does, but he ain't a Deontay Wilder knockout artist or a Mike Tyson. I wonder whether it's that because skill-wise, I mean, it's almost undebatable.